Welcome to our interview with our Human Resource Administrator, Sarah Roberts. I'm Lauren Cunningham, Curriculum Services Supervisor, and today we are here to discuss the administrative regulation for job expenses and travel reimbursement. Thank you again for meeting with me today, Sarah.
Absolutely. It's great to be back to help our employees better understand our administrative regulations.
So let's dive right in on this one. Obviously, there are going to be times when our employees must travel for work purposes. Some employees travel every day. Talk to me about the most important points to highlight regarding reimbursement for business expenses.
Absolutely. The most important thing right away is that reimbursement is limited to actual business expenses. For example, say that you go to a conference and it is outside of the county and therefore are staying at a hotel. If you stay at the hotel one additional night, that is not for work purposes. Say you are sightseeing for the weekend, the organization would not pay for that additional night. The employee would be responsible for those costs with their personal financial funds. And the most important point related to this fact is just to use good judgment when making decisions on if something is an actual business expense.
Great. Thank you for sharing that example. What else is important to highlight?
When it comes to food and travel, lunch on your own is not reimbursable unless you are outside of Westmoreland County. Also, lodging is only reimbursable if you travel exceeds 50 miles. One of the most commonly confused aspects of mileage reimbursements has to do with employees that are itinerant and have a base location. Employees do not get paid to travel from their home to their first location of the day. They will get reimbursed from their base location to anywhere else that they must travel inside of the workday. The most important way to avoid confusion in this situation is for employees to work with their supervisors to ensure they have both the same understanding of what the designated base location of the employee is each day.
Great. Thank you for clearing that up, Sarah. I think like in many of our administrative regulation videos, it's really important for supervisors and employees to communicate and always be on the same page. So how does an employee get reimbursed for their business-related expenses?
Great question. There is a travel reimbursement form in Adobe Sign that employees must turn in by the 10th of the month in order to get reimbursed for the previous month's expenses. On our website, under Employee Resources, you can find instructions on how to use the form within Adobe Sign.
Great. I also included a link to those instructions in the resources section of this training experience as well.
Thanks, Lauren. Your supervisor will need to sign this completed reimbursement form each month before it is submitted to the finance team.
I think there is one more thing we would like to share with you all before we conclude this interview. We actually asked our finance team, led by Director Tammy Good, to chime in on the most important points that they would like to share regarding this administrative regulation. Here are some of the items that their team wanted to express with our training participants. 1, board approval is needed when traveling out of state or when expenses are expected to exceed $1,000. 2, the employee's base location, like you were mentioning, Sarah, is from where the employee has been assigned by their supervisor for their work. Itinerants without an assigned base will be reimbursed for their first and last assignments. 3rd, the original detailed receipts are required for reimbursement. 4, sales tax is not reimbursed except for meals. And 5, gratuity not exceeding 15% is reimbursable.
Yes, these are the common mistakes the finance team finds when they are processing travel reimbursement forms. We covered point number 2, but adhering to those other guidelines within the administrative regulation will ensure your reimbursement is processed correctly and in a timely manner.
Well, thank you for another great interview, Sarah. I hope this helps our employees understand our travel reimbursement AR.
Absolutely.